Across the planet, 5 rare pockets of humanity quietly defy the rules of aging. These places, known as blue zones, hold the highest concentration of centenarians ever recorded. People who live not only long lives but healthy ones, free from the chronic decline most believe is inevitable. As modern laboratories at Harvard, Stanford, and the Buck Institute decode the biology of aging, one truth keeps resurfacing. The daily habits of blue zone populations align with the most advanced longevity science ever published. Their diet, rhythm, and mindset activate metabolic pathways, reduce inflammatory load, protect mitochondria, and slow cellular aging. Yet their lifestyle is not built on supplements, restriction, or futuristic technology. It is built on ancient patterns, simplicity, consistency, plant-based nutrition, and a deep sense of purpose. Today, you will discover not the myth of long life, but the mechanism behind it and how you can apply it, starting now. To understand blue zone nutrition, scientists first studied the metabolic footprint of their meals. From Sardinia to Okinawa, their diets share a striking pattern: 90 to 95% plant-based, rich in legumes, whole grains, vegetables, and antioxidant-packed fruits, with minimal refined sugar or ultra-processed foods. At UCLA and the National Institute on Aging, researchers found that these foods stabilize glucose, improve insulin sensitivity, and reduce oxidative stress, 3 pillars critical for slowing biological aging. But what truly stands out is the harmony between their caloric intake and metabolic needs. Okinawans follow a principle called harahachi-bu, eating until they're 80% full. This practice, confirmed by metabolic studies, reduces mTOR activation and increases autophagy, promoting cellular repair. Their diet is not a trend, it is a metabolic blueprint, refined over generations, now validated by modern science. But blue zones reveal something deeper. Longevity is not solely about what you eat, but how food interacts with your biology. Take legumes, the nutritional cornerstone across all 5 blue zones. Harvard research shows that a single daily serving can reduce the risk of all-cause mortality due to its fiber content, slow glucose release, and anti-inflammatory properties. In Ikaria, Greece, called the island where people forget to die, residents consume polyphenol-rich olive oil daily, which studies linked to improved endothelial function and protection against oxidative cellular damage. The myth that longevity requires complex supplements evaporates in the face of these findings. Instead, the truth emerges when your diet nourishes your microbiome, stabilizes your glycemic response, and keeps inflammation low. Your cells age at a dramatically slower rate. Yet diet alone cannot explain why blue zone residents reach 100 with clarity, mobility, and joy. Longevity labs worldwide now confirm that chronic stress accelerates aging more aggressively than poor diet. It alters cortisol patterns, suppresses immune function, and shortens telomeres, the protective caps on chromosomes. Blue zone cultures naturally counter this through daily rituals of relaxation, prayer in Sardinia, tea ceremonies in Okinawa, afternoon naps in Ikaria. Studies from the University of California show that these lifestyle rhythms lower systemic stress markers and promote parasympathetic activation, allowing the body to repair more efficiently. This is not philosophy, it is biology. When stress remains controlled, inflammation drops, hormonal balance stabilizes, and your longevity systems stay active instead of suppressed. Movement in blue zones is not scheduled, it is woven into life. Residents walk, garden, climb hills, and maintain a level of natural physical activity that supports mitochondrial density and metabolic flexibility. The Karolinska Institute found that moderate, continuous movement reduces the risk of premature death more effectively than intense but sporadic exercise. This matches the lived reality of the super-longevos. They remain active without punishing their bodies, building strong muscles and cardiovascular resilience through consistent, low-intensity motion. Their joints stay mobile, their metabolism remains stable, and their energy stays high. This is why scientists now refer to movement as the biological fuel of aging well. It is not gym culture that extends life, it is the act of never letting the body stagnate. Another pillar of blue zone longevity is social connection. In tight-knit communities like Okinawa's Moe groups or Costa Rica's Nicoyan family networks, residents feel deeply supported, valued, and understood. Modern psychology and neurobiology confirm that isolation elevates inflammatory markers, raises cortisol, and increases the risk of cognitive decline. Blue zone residents, by contrast, benefit from consistent emotional bonding and shared responsibility. Their social bonds act as a biological buffer against stress-related aging. Researchers at Stanford now confirm that strong social ties increase survival rates more effectively than exercise or quitting smoking. Longevity is not only a physical journey, it is a relational one, rooted in connection that strengthens both mind and body. Purpose is another longevity trigger encoded deeply into blue zone life. In Okinawa, it is called ikigai, the reason you wake up in the morning. In Nicoya, it is plan de vida, This sense of purpose activates neural pathways associated with motivation, optimism, and resilience. Medical studies show that individuals with a strong sense of purpose lower their risk of cardiovascular disease, depression, and early mortality. Purpose anchors emotions, stabilizes the nervous system, and fuels long-term behavioral consistency. In Blue Zones, purpose is not a theory, it is an identity. It shapes the way they eat, move, connect, and age. Purpose becomes their internal engine, driving them forward through decades with clarity and emotional steadiness. What stands out most is how seamlessly these habits interlock. Blue Zone longevity is not the result of one magic practice, it is the symphony created when diet, purpose, connection, movement, and stress control harmonize. Researchers call this cumulative longevity stacking, a phenomenon where small daily habits create compounding biological advantages. Over decades, inflammation lowers, metabolic resilience strengthens, cognitive decline slows, and cellular repair remains active. This synergy is why these communities produce centenarians at rates modern cities will never achieve. And this very synergy is the foundation of the lifestyle you can begin building now, no matter where you live or what age you are. To apply these principles to your life, start with your environment. Environment shapes routine, and routine shapes aging. Choose foods that mirror Blue Zone nutrition: beans, whole grains, leafy vegetables, nuts, seeds, and antioxidant-rich fruits. Build a simple movement routine based on walking, stretching, and body weight strength. Protect your stress levels through breathwork, meditation, or quiet rituals. Strengthen your social circles intentionally, even if it requires rebuilding from scratch. And finally, define your purpose not in vague terms, but as a daily mission that gives your life direction. Each change may seem small, but together they activate the same biological pathways present in the world's longest-lived populations. As this journey closes, one truth stands clear. Blue Zone longevity is not an accident, it is a lifestyle rooted in balance, purpose, and metabolic harmony. These communities do not live longer because they chase youth, they live longer because they cultivate health. And now, through the lens of global longevity research, their secrets are no longer hidden. You can build a life that is richer, calmer, healthier, and profoundly longer by adopting the same principles. Unlimited longevity is not a distant dream, it is a decision, a strategy, and a daily practice. Your next chapter begins with the habits you choose from this moment forward.